All right, I'm Nick. Now, yesterday we unboxed and we shot the Hellcat Pro Comp, put 120 rounds through it. I was pleasantly surprised on how it shot. We've had a lot of comments about the trigger and how the trigger is gritty or there's a lot of take up and the take up is stiff, which it is. It's not necessarily a bad thing in my mind. That means you know that you're doing it. This is obviously sample size of one. It's not very gritty. It's just there's resistance there, but those are things that you notice in a gun store or sitting at a table. When you're shooting the gun, wall, bang, you don't notice those things. So I thought the trigger was pretty good. It did measure 5.5 pounds. Today, we're going to come out here. We did install this Cat X Pro, which was sent to us last week or so on there. As far as optic goes, it has a big glass window. Optics, for the most part, is do they hold zero and do they hold up durability, right? That's it. That's all it is. That's all my thoughts are. If you can see the dot, you can see the dot. This one has a 3 MOA dot and a 30 MOA circle. The third reticle is a 30 MOA circle and a dot, right? So today, I just finished zeroing it. It's not perfect, it's close. Obviously, I'm a big fan of an RMR. I like to be able to use a casing to adjust that. I was able to use my pocket knife, so no real special tool was needed, which was nice. We're going to run some more ammo through here. I already put about 18 through there, just shooting and tinkering around. We're just going to run them center target, find the dot, pull the trigger, see how she does. So far, I'm liking it, right? But you got to put hundreds of rounds through a pistol before you can, give any kind of positive or negative feedback, all right? So, just going to find the dot and pull the trigger. All right, all of those shots are center mass on that target. Didn't really expect anything less. Now we'll do a little double tapping and see how it does. But the trigger is a defensive trigger. I think that as consumers, we overanalyze everything, and triggers is probably the number one thing. I'm just as guilty as it, just as guilty at it as anyone else. But it's kind of a novelty thing. A defensive pistol is not designed to necessarily go stupidly quick. It's not a range toy. I personally want a firm wall, so a little bit of pressure on the take-up's no big deal, because when you find the wall, you find the wall. All right, first shot, dead center in the heart, or what they mark as the heart, right? And then the second shot was low down here. Also not a terrible thing. I didn't find the shot or the dot for the second shot. I just double tapped it as fast as I could and saw what happened. Ooh. I'm not sure where the second one went. Talking, I did mess that trigger up, okay? Definitely on the first one. Yesterday in the comments section, I mentioned how well I thought the dot returned, or the front sight returned to your initial aim point, or returned to zero, right? And now I kind of feel like with the optic, the red dot, it's a lot lower. Actually, I preferred shooting it with just the front sight. We're still getting some great hits. I feel like with that optic up there, obviously, when you're using the optic, your eyesight's a little bit higher. I feel like when it returns for the second shot, the gun is being drove down. That could just be me. It's a new day. Some days I don't shoot well. I'm a human being. But all those shots, man, they're center mass. The gun is still performing well. I don't use a red dot on my EDC anyways. I like to have red dots on full-size pistols. Something like this is just kicks and giggles. It's an experiment. I would not do it myself. It's just not for me. Everybody's different, okay? But I don't think anything is bad about this system. Not at all. All right, I tried to put that one in his head. It appears I shot him in the ear. Remember, that target is extremely tiny, so if it was an actual human being, it's probably a success. That is dead center in the little blue thing. look, so far, I think this is a great pistol. And it's one of those things that, you know, some people don't like Springfield Armory. You could probably put me into that category if I had to make a tier list. I wouldn't put this at the top of my list. I just wouldn't do it. But you can't knock it. It works. Out of the box, no malfunctions. Trigger, a little heavy. But man, I'm not upset about the way it's been shooting. Let's go take a picture so that you guys can see it, because I know people are interested, and that's why we're making the videos. Don't mind the shots that are on the top left target. Those were not from this. Put all the shots in the head box. I shot them in both ears. That's actually funny, kind of funny. Every other hit looks like it's pretty good. There is one shot to the left, which is obviously me. Probably happened during those double taps. But man, it's a good shooting pistol, man. A lot of comments about negative things about it, and it's not perfect by any means, but we'll go into some more details later. One of the things, if you're still watching, the grip is kind of blocky. It's kind of weird shaped in my opinion. Also, not having interchangeable back straps is probably a no-go for a lot of people. That's all personal preference, but man, this is a great little pistol. I ain't upset about it, all right? If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Go down there, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on the Hellcat. Thanks for watching.